next item on the agenda is question and answers from the audience.
No, gardens.
Pardon me, sorry. Mr. Pinsent will have a few words to say.
Take two.
Thank you very much. Good day. Into the show right away. Turning me into a Mountie was not the easiest transformation on anyone's mind at the time, but coming down that trail today was exactly the way we came down before. And from the very first time, that transformation kind of took hold. I was in a sort of a scared mood early this morning and settled into something quite wonderful when I began to see personalities around me that had shared these grounds with me so many years ago. I didn't think when they invited me that I would ever have been as affected as I was this morning. It's quite extraordinary. This is something that doesn't happen as easily today as it seemed to happen at that time in the minds of children, I'm sure, who were given a 3-year sentence of the forest rangers. But it was a beautiful undertaking. I'm sure it was, for all of them. And a little music behind this wouldn't hurt either. Yes, turning me into a Mountie seemed to be what someone had in mind. Probably Maxine. And it seemed a bit strange, but for some reason, when the pieces were put together, I seemed to give the impression of some sort of collective positive reaction to how it turned out. The difficulty would be, well, not a difficulty, but there was a bit of talk as to how they were going to, as to what kind of transportation I would need. They threw out a horse right away. Second choice, well, I would have parachuted him. I enjoyed the whole idea so much, and once I got into that unit, that red coat and the rest of it, you couldn't stop me. I was this fool from Newfoundland who volunteered to take part in the party that was happening before me. And it didn't stop, that feeling. The arrival in the morning, the coming down that trail, again, another transformation daily into this playground that I was taking part in.
But you were quite a driver, Gordon, I guess.
I was quite a driver. Thank you, Rick. Yes, so they said, well, car then, I guess. And I said, I guess, even though George McGowan was the only one who knew this, I didn't drive. And my mind went back quickly, if you don't mind my veering off for a second. I also showed up years ago, and I said yes to everything. That was one of my things, saying yes. And I showed up for the last of the Mohicans. Turned out to be the Forest Rangers. I showed up for the last of the Mohicans when they were shooting, and I was asked if I could ride, and I said, Western or English? I did get the part. The three of us were coming out of the bushes being chased by Aboriginals. And I had a friend tie my feet together onto the horse. Not the smartest thing ever. And there was a bit of a river crossing. I also couldn't swim. However, the rope did something strange to the water, did something strange to the rope. So I ended up sideways. And the other two fellas fell off. I went past the camera on the other side. The director, Sid Newville at the time, said, look at that bastard go. Well, here was I again now. I was driving. They said, do you want a standard? I said, no, what's the other one? They said, automatic, that's it. Oh yeah, give me an automatic. And then they said, your car is arriving shortly. Well, thank you very much, said I, in my Mountie unit. And the man arrived with the car. He was plain clothes, but apparently he was a Mountie. He was driving a car from, which I suppose was his, I don't know. I said, don't stay around, buddy. Go
for a cup.
Go for a coffee. So, there was a territory in front of the fort, for those that, and it went over a slope. I was down under that slope, waiting for an action, relayed. There were about 3 actions. Gary Flanagan doing all of them, I think. Anyway, I'm there at the wheel, coming up, approaching the fort, park outside and everything else. And action, action, action. I came up over the slope. Just as I did, a horse had come out to graze. And I saw meat everywhere. I saw the steak. I was coming straight towards the horse when George McGowan wisely said to his crew, everybody inside. I'm changing the formation. Everybody inside, please. And he knew the story, of course, and I was rolling. Now on film, when you're driving and you can't drive, you drive like this in the distance. And when you get closer, you do this. So I was coming along, heading straight for the horse. The horse wisely did a kind of a Roy Rogers. And on I went to the fort. And if you remember, the opening of the show has this car being driven by we know. I went straight for this horse that doesn't know. And it was used finally. The best work I did.